Hey everyone, it's Ethan. So today I'll be doing most chess players' favorite part of the game, tactics. So I'm gonna cover quite a few tactics. I will start off basic, but they will get progressively harder. I'll give a few examples of each, and then I'll give an exercise at the end. I've decided that I will reveal the answers just because if you decide to skip to the end, you're only cheating yourself. So, I anyway, let's get started. So the first one is a fork. This is probably the most basic tactic. And here the correct move is knight d5. It looks like white is losing because black has a queen, but that is not the case because after white takes it, it is a draw. And as you can see, the black king is in check, and black cannot do something like put the white king in check. They have to move the king, and then we take the queen. And a fork can be done with several pieces. It doesn't have to be a knight. It can be a bishop, a rook, a pawn, and even a king. Queen up. Yeah, basically any piece. A queen can also fork too. So I showed quite a few examples just because it can be done with so many pieces. So if you're wondering why the moves, I accidentally made it white to move. It is black to move. What do you think the correct move is? Five. All right. The correct move here is rook e4 check, and now black wins the knight with an easily winning endgame. It's worth noting that king and knight versus king and rook is usually a draw, so you definitely want that knight. So yeah, this is a pawn fork. White, it looks like white is losing, but it's actually a draw with best play from both sides. So the correct move here is e6. Yeah, and here the best defense block is actually to go rook d1 check and then rook f6. None of the like you can't save both rooks. So the best try is to make sure the pawn doesn't get to one of these squares. And now this endgame is going to be a draw with best play. I'll just, since I covered endgames, I think why not cover this one? And yeah, you just defend the pawn. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Remember, pawns can fork too, and take advantage of it. And this one, lastly, is a bishop fork. I I'm going to recommend pausing the video if you want to find it. If you just want to answer, that is okay too. Five, four, three, two, one. All right. Correct move is bishop b5, and now it is a draw. Bishop and king and bishop versus king and rook is also a draw, but hey, it's much easier to take the rook, am I right? And now, all right, here's an exercise. The exercises are going to have far more pieces than the examples because these are what you're gonna have in the real game. I'm doing I want I'm doing the examples with as few pieces as possible so that it's easy to understand. I find getting the bare bones down, and then once you have it down, you're ready for the harder stuff. So, all right. The easiest way to spot a fork in a real game is to see if you are able to attack two pieces at once with any of the pieces, and can the defending side resolve the fork in a way. Like here, knight b5 is a fork, but it is not a very good move because obviously black can just take it, and we lost the knight for free. So yeah, I'm not great with Lichess studies, so I'm just gonna have to go back to the starting position. So what do you think the correct move is? I'd recommend pausing the video. All right, five, four, three, two, one. If you said knight d5, congratulations, you are correct. And I should have said this earlier, but a rook is more valuable than a knight generally, and a rook is worth 5 points, knight is worth 3, so rook for knight is a good trade. Here, as we can see, the king is not forked, but the king doesn't have to be one of the pieces that is forked. Black should move the queen because the queen is worth more than a rook. Like queen e6, we just take it, and yeah, this is really good for white. In fact, black's knight is trapped too. Ah, that's a bonus trap piece. Yeah, I'm gonna include that later. So, yep, that's the solution. Just check and run the pieces for both. And here's tactic number 2, a pin. So a pin is where one piece is, so you're attacking one piece and it can't or shouldn't move because it exposes a more valuable piece. So here the tactic move is bishop to b5. Like Lichess will not let me make a move with the rook because it is illegal. So the rook cannot, this is called an absolute pin. If a piece is pinned to the king, it cannot move. And yeah, after the king moves, you just take the rook, and it is a draw. So if you notice that two pieces are on the same like file rank or diagonal, king and rook are on the same diagonal, try to see if you can pin them. Not all pins are going to be beneficial. In fact, I'm gonna actually show an example where it's not. So here the correct move is rook to e2. You are pinning the queen to the king, and queen versus rook is generally a win, so you definitely want to do this. And now, honestly, just taking the rook is fine. When you take back to draw, if the king moves, take the queen. And yeah, what's important is that the queen cannot get out of the pin because then the king would be exposed. And now I'm going to show how to exploit a pin for maximum gain. Here, you probably already noticed the rook is already pinned to the king. And here, taking it is okay, you can do that. But if you're paying attention in my endgame video, you will know that with a pawn this far advanced, it is going to be a draw, since white cannot acquire opposition. However, there is a way to win the rook for free. If you want to pause the video, I'm not going to do the countdown, but I'll take a second. Okay, if you solved it and said g5, congratulations. Now the king has to move. Remember, absolute pin, the rook cannot move. And now you take the rook with either the bishop or the pawn. And this is an easy win for white. Generally, if there's a minor piece that's assisting a pawn, it's always going to be a win, unless there's something called wrong colored rook pawn, which I showed in my endgame Do You Want to Believe or Drawn video, if you want to check that out. So this is another example. Here, taking the bishop would actually be a grave mistake because the rook is more valuable than the bishop. And you can either struggle on here, this position is winning, but there's a much faster way to win. Once again, if you want to pause the video, I'll take a second. All right, if you had a chance to look at that, the correct move is f5. And now king has to move, and then you take the bishop, either a rook or the pawn, but I like the pawn more. And yeah, so, and the easiest way to notice if you can exploit the pin for maximum gain is to see, are there pieces that can pile up? The more attackers, so if an enemy piece has as many attackers as it does defenders, it is defended sufficiently. However, if you can get it if you can get more attackers than there are defenders, it's gonna be great for you. So yeah, as you can see now, Rook has 2 attackers, 1 defender, while before G5 it had 1 attacker, 1 defender. So see if there are any pieces that can attack a pin piece, because remember, it cannot move. So this is a pin exercise. So here you're gonna have to show 2 moves. I'm gonna, yeah, pause the video if you want to solve it. I'm gonna do 10 seconds now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. You said bishop b3. Great first move. King f7. And here, what is a really bad move to play? All right. If you said don't play bishop takes c6, you're correct. First move is f5, and now you win a knight for free, because now the knight has 2 attackers and and you can theoretically get 2 defenders, but yeah, you're just winning a rook here. So bishop b3 and f5 are great moves to win the piece. And now I there's an example I wanted to include but didn't. So I'm gonna just include that now. All right. Yeah. So, all right, if you want to solve this one, pause the video. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So here, bishop b5 looks like a really good move, or this is one of the rare situations where a pin is not beneficial. Bishop b5, and now after c6, the pin is broken. We cannot do anything. So, so this position, you may notice it's different from the exercise, but the solution is going to be the same. Now, bishop to f5 will win. So here, you can't pile up on the pin, but since rook is worth more than bishop, this is a great trade. And here, if you were black, you'd want to go rook d8, just getting out of the pin. Beware of those distractors. The rook and the king being lined up was a distractor. Well, the rook and the queen, there was no way to break up the pin. And all right, let me do when the pin is not beneficial. Yep, you saw case 1 when it can be breaking up, doesn't really do anything. And okay. So here, as you may know, bishop f5, that's also a pin. However, a bishop is worth the same as a knight, and there's nowhere to pile up, so the pin doesn't really help white. Like if I can just castle here, the computer won't let me castle, but because I forgot to enable castling. But yeah, any ordinary move will be fine for black. So just remember, if a pin can be broken up or there's no benefit from the exchange, then don't bother trying to pin the opponent's piece. So this is a skewer. As you may have noticed, the king is in check, and it's going to have to move, but now we take the queen. a pin is a less valuable piece, being pinned to a more valuable piece, but in a skewer, you're attacking a more valuable piece and it moves so that you can take the less valuable piece. And of course, the king has to move. So it's in check, and now we take the queen, which very valuable, not as much as the king. So now, skewer example number 2. This is actually a common theme in endgame that I may get to, but here also skewer correct move is rook to h7, and now after king e6, take the rook. Yep. So the only pieces that can skewer are a bishop, rook, and the queen, because you have to have some long range to do it. And yeah, this is White's plain draw. Pause it if you want. And I'll be revealing the solution right away. Bishop to b7, king move, take the queen. No, yeah, that's a mess up. Take the queen. And yeah, just remember, skewers are not only a winning tactic, they can also be a drawing tactic. Yeah, I forgot to say earlier, but I can show cases where a skewer is not beneficial. And this is the exercise. Once again, pause the video if you want to solve it. White looks completely lost, but they're actually winning. Can you see why? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, if you said rook d1, that is correct. Alongside castling also works too, but Lee doesn't want me to play that. And now I'm gonna do 2 cases where a skewer is not beneficial. We're just gonna make some minor adjustments. This actually, yeah, this one's actually pretty good. It depicts both ways a skewer is not beneficial. And if you all like my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate all subscribers. And if you have any ideas for a video, message me on Instagram. My Instagram is chessgod9. And now, rook d1, the skewer, this is good, but it's not beneficial for 2 reasons. A, the knight can interpose, and B, even if the king moves, it's an even trade. So don't do a tactic just because you see it, your tactic because it's beneficial. Oh, also, the same applies to a fork. If the pieces being forked are less valuable than the piece doing the forking, and you can defend both pieces being forked, yeah, it's not beneficial. And of course, if you can take the piece that's doing the forking, not beneficial either. So, yeah, this is going to be deflection. Not the result of very intelligent play from black, but easiest way to win the opening. Easiest way to do it in the opening. The faster way to win. So now after bishop takes f7, the king does not have to take. The best move is actually king to e7, but we just want a free pawn. However, if black does take, queen takes d8 is easily winning. So if you notice a piece trying to do 2 things at once, the king is both defending the pawn and the queen, particularly if the deflection comes to check, I'd go for it. And queen takes d is not a move, but I like bishop takes f7 because it's more forcing. And here's another example. This one is a bit harder, but I think y'all can solve this. This problem actually has, this problem technically has 2 solutions, but there's one that I think is significantly better. All right, if you want to solve it, pause the video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, now rook d8. This is an example of both a decoy and a deflection. The king is deflected from the square it defends of 7 on, and it is decoyed or lured to the d8 square. Now you win the queen. That's not serious. I wonder if it's better, because I accidentally had black start up a bishop. Okay, white is better. That rook d8 along with knight takes a 7 immediately are both ways that white can equalize. Now here is the exercise. This actually combines a theme that we did not learn about, but I think y'all can do this. And as always, if you want to pause the video, go ahead. Alright. So here, it looks like white is down a pawn and should just exchange queens. However, there is a much better move. Do you remember how I said when a piece is doing 2 jobs, a deflection can occur? Oh, this is a case. So in your mind, remove the black rook on b8 and the white queen from the board. What would you play? Alright, if you said rook d8, you'd be correct. So now you cannot remove the rook, but you can deflect it from its post where it goes back rank. If you notice there's also defending the knight, great job. You probably saw queen takes b5, and if black doesn't take, they'll just be down the knight. If black does, rook e8 is checkmate. So the rook is doing both jobs, this and guarding the back rank. And yeah, if you notice that there's only one piece guarding the back rank, and there are no places for the king to move to, try to see if you can find a deflection. Alright, here is a decoy. So the pattern here is called Domino's mate. And the pawns are here for a reason. So if you want to solve it, go ahead. You probably know the correct move by now. And here's the correct move is rook h8. This is a decoy because you're allowing the king to the square where it can now be checked by the king. I mean the queen. And now queen h7 is going to be checkmate. And it's worth noting that the same tactic applies for black to move too, so whoever moves wins. Alright, here's example number 2. It looks like white is dead lost, but they actually have mate in 2. And here the correct move is also rook h8, and that is an even faster mate. This is not the Domino's mate due to the knight on g5, not the pawn, but yeah, this is still a very cool tactic. Now here is the exercise. Yes, there are some strange moves on the board. That is because I actually set it up for white to play, not black to play. And believe it or not, this occurred in a real game. In fact, one of my games. I was playing in 1800 at a local tournament in Georgia. And can you find what I played as black? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you saw that, congrats, you played person in 1800. I played e5 here, and you're wondering, hey, why can't white just take? And now comes the decoy part. So the bishop on a 4, there's no way to fork it that doesn't just hang a pawn. Well, now there's a way to fork it. Queen a5 check, and now white has to resolve the check, and now y'all can see the point. After queen takes e5, black wins a bishop for a pawn, and I did go on to win the game. Yeah, if you notice 2 pieces in close proximity, try to make the fork work. Of course, if your opponent can simply capture the piece and there's no follow-up, don't do it. But if you do see a follow-up, go for it. And a great rule of thumb is when you see a tactic, look to see if it works, don't just dismiss it. Because there's nothing wrong with taking extra time to check if a tactic works. Alright, looks like a very dry game. However, white is actually winning due to a German word called Zwischenzug. So a Zwischenzug is basically where you play an in-between move before your main move. That's my best description of it. Y'all are gonna understand. And I play it. It's 95. As you can probably guess, black is gonna take the queen, and here we do not take back. You can take the rook with check. So basically, you play a move, but like if it looks like you're trying to make a simple trade, however, you play a move before you make that trade, and it generally is a check, although not always, in the master class tactic I'm going to show. And yeah, blocking us move, and we won a rook for knight after black takes the knight, and yep, white should go on to win the endgame. So if you notice like an undefended piece on a if you notice two pieces lined up together, there might be a Zwischenzug. And of course, there has to be something for the piece that just moved to take. So yeah, just consider that tactic. And here is another example. This probably occurred from a Scheveningen Sicilian. And here white is not going to be dead winning, but the knight d5 tactic still applies. So yeah, queen on d2, queen on a5, undefended piece on e7, or pawn on e7. That's a great indicator that you can have a move like knight d5. And the queen does have to be undefended, and your queen has to be defended for it to work. But it's a cold trap, and we know what happens. We take the bishop, and the knight does get trapped, but we're going to win the pawn b6. Let me just show the line. Yep. So now queen d8. Can you find the move? It's pretty hard to see, but I think I can do this. So this is going to be a decoy. So bishop b6. If queen moves anywhere but e8, take the bishop. If the queen moves to e8, knight c7, fork. Yeah, in the real game, some tactics are going to be a combination of two. Here we had a Zwischenzug, a decoy, and a fork all in one. And if you're wondering what the best move block is, it's probably bishop d8. And now we win a pawn, and I think white can win the game. So I got the chapter titles mixed up. But here is the master level tactic. I played this online against the 2100. I was playing white, and can you guess what I played here? And pause the video if you want to solve it. I'm gonna start explaining how I saw it and how you can too. So did you notice that the rook on d8 is slightly loose, and let's say if these two pieces were removed, we could just take the rook for free? Oh, if you did, good job. That probably helped you, that may have helped you see the tactic. Still, it does not look easy because how are we going to do that? Well, we start off by getting rid of the knight. Knight takes c6. And now he took back, and now, can you see the next move? Remember, a pin. So, if you said bishop takes c5, good job. And here he actually resigned. If you were to take back, I just take the rook. So knight takes c6 is an example of a clearance sacrifice. You are clearing both the bishop's diagonal and the d file. And I did not teach all this, but if you saw it, great job. I probably could teach it, but that will be for later. That will be a later video because I'm going to wrap this up soon. And yeah, right. And you can technically say that if you saw this, you played better than the 2100 because guessing you did not. All right, this is really hard, really hard. I actually played this. So my bad. I did in fact set the board up wrong. Black pawn is on f7, not f6. So unfortunately, pawn's kind of move backwards, but I'm going to fix it. So we are going to delete the chapter. Thank you all for your patience. Sorry about that. Yeah, as soon as I looked at it again, I realized I had it set up wrong. Thankfully, I can usually remember how pieces were set up. So it's not going to be a huge deal. And yep, as I was saying, I was doing this against it. I did this against a 2400. So if you see it, you can say you played better than a 2400. I'm going to be giving you all the motifs to make it a bit easier. Now, rook on e7. All right. Just trying to remember where the other rook was. It was on b3. Yep. So this has many motifs. Very, very hard. So the first one is going to be Zwischenzug. You're probably very confused why, but as I play out the moves, it's gonna make sense. Other one is going to be decoy, and another that could apply is deflection. All right. Pause the video if you want to solve it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, the first move is rook takes e5. If rook takes e5, queen takes a7, king h8, bishop to d2. Even I think I'm gonna go bishop h6 next move, and I should be completely winning here. So he decides to take with the pawn, and now this is both a decoy and a deflection. Remember his Zwischenzug here. Can you try to find white's next move? If you said d6, good job. That is what I played. And now if he does something like e4, I almost didn't play the tactic because of it. But then I saw queen f4, you take on e4, and white is winning here. He played the critical move, which is to take on f3, and now I did not take back. In true Mikhail Tolstoy, I took the rook. And you may be wondering, am I not just down a queen? Oh, I am temporary. I am, but not for long. So now the other purpose of rook takes e5 is now queen e3, which is right in the game. Pawn on e5 blocks the queen's line of sight, so I can promote. If he took on g2 and did that, I think rook d2 is winning for me. He doesn't have a good way to promote rook d8. So he did queen e3, and now I promoted the queen. So taking stock, we started off with two rooks, two bishops, and a knight and a queen. And now we gained a rook and a bishop at the expense of both the pawns. So great trade, and I did win the game shortly. Here's a bonus if you're feeling really spicy. What is white's next move? I did not play it. I think I played the second best move. Let me confirm. I did go on to win the game though. So white's best move is actually bishop d2. That decoy. Another decoy. It's not us forcing. And then knight e4. This is actually made. That would have been a truly spectacular finish. Let's see. I played knight e4, which is the third best move. I mean, no, it's the second best move. So yeah, but as you can see, bishop d2 is the best move. So if you solve that, congratulations. You definitely have great potential, and you can say you played better than a master. Not many people can say that. And if you didn't, I hope you have fun. These tactics were very hard, and y'all are doing great. And as always, if you like my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Just remember, you're getting better at chess every day. Bye.